Welcome to Consistency Breeds Growth Radio. I am your host, Justin Romer. Our incredible guest and myself talk about the cutting-edge science and consistency necessary to reach your weight loss, wellness, and performance goals. If you want more information about working with us one-on-one or in a gym setting, head over to consistencybreedsgrowth.com or email us at consistencybreedsgrowth@gmail.com. We will also put links in the show notes. Enjoy the podcast. Science. What's up, team? We're back with another episode of CBG Radio. Before I get into the topic today, which is a good one, I want to get everyone listening to this podcast on our community Facebook page. There's a couple of things on our community Facebook page, content and other stuff that I'll explain here in a minute that you can't really get anywhere else, right? You're not going to get it on our Instagram or our podcast. So this is the main reason that you would want to join our community Facebook page, right? The first thing is that we do monthly free nutrition challenges. They're focused specifically on a topic. We just finished one, on sleep. We did another on, rest days. There are so many different topics that we go over in there to really have you focus specifically on that one thing you might be missing to help you reach your goals, right? So along with those free monthly nutrition challenges, we also pose extremely thoughtful questions that are going to help you understand you better as a person, to help you sort of get to the underlying root and causes of your nutrition and your fitness, right? And just your journey in general. And the last thing that we do on our Facebook page is that we also have a bunch of free guides, our macro cheat sheet, guides to helping you achieve body recomposition and weight loss, especially for CrossFitters out there. It's all sort of geared towards the CrossFit athlete. If you're participating in CrossFit, you don't have to be a competitor. Anyone at any level could access these guides and use them to reach their goals, right? So join our community Facebook page. The link for that is www.facebook.com/groups/CBG Nutrition Tribe. It'll also be in the show notes. So yeah, please join us there. Today, we're talking about paleo. And specifically, the title of the podcast is going to be called The Paleo Problem, right? So there are a lot of things to uncover here. But first, I want to sort of go over what paleo is. So it became popularized specifically for CrossFit athletes, right? So in 2009, the paleo diet has become nearly synonymous with the CrossFit methodology. So it was recommended by Greg Glassman, and something that he in full supported for people to utilize if you are participating in CrossFit, or just general people around the world really that want to improve health and fitness. The definition under the CrossFit, just the CrossFit prescription, is to eat meat and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar, keep intake to levels that will support exercise, but not body fat, right? So there are a couple of really good things about paleo that I want to point out before I absolutely destroy paleo. And, the first thing is that paleo actually encourages a fair amount of protein, right? Since the carbohydrate sources are limited on the paleo, which we'll get into, a lot of, the sources of food in terms of calories and just overall intake is going to come from protein. It also cuts out a lot of top sources of calories, especially in the United States, which include alcohol, desserts, and sugar sweetened beverages, right? This is all great. And there's plenty of fruits and vegetables. So it's a great way to get in a variety of different coenzymes for a variety of processes in the body, micronutrients, vitamins, that help support, recovery, immunity, weight loss, hormone balance, all these different types of things, right? Which is really, really cool. Now, the big thing about paleo, there are a couple things I'll get into, is that with all these variations, there's a lot of things to sort of unpack. But the basic premise is that you will eat like your hunter-gatherer ancestors would have. just to start off, look, the meats and the fruits and vegetables that we have available compared to our hunter-gatherers is totally different now. To make a diet that's based off of the hunter-gatherer system from, hundreds and hundreds of years ago seems a bit foolish because things have changed so drastically, right? But here are some of the basics, right, of the paleo diet. No grains. So quinoa, oatmeal, pasta, bread, cereal, no grains. No dairy. No refined sugar, high fructose corn syrup, Splenda, xylitol, cane sugar, maltodextrin. No legumes or beans. So there goes your tacos, your burritos. No starches, potatoes, right? No alcohol at all. And no processed foods, whatever that means. So basically nothing that wouldn't have been available, quote unquote, to a caveman, right? So as I say this out loud, I wonder, what foods do I eat that aren't on the list that I just mentioned? Yeah, it becomes pretty challenging when you restrict yourself from all of those foods, right? So although there are some advantages, there are a lot of disadvantages. And I'm going to go a little bit more in depth into those things. So as humans, we sort of shifted from this Paleolithic to Neolithic period, right? And this is where we essentially went from hunting and gathering food to an agricultural diet, right? So some arguments out there for adopting a Paleolithic diet include, but aren't really limited to, weight management, eating like our ancestors to optimize health, quote unquote, beans might be bad for you, and that grains cause inflammation. All these things are untrue. We know that an individual diet is specific for everyone. Everybody has their own blueprint, their own puzzle piece. And, we won't be specifically getting into what the foods available were during the Paleolithic time. I can assure you that they're very different from what we have available now, even under what this quote unquote paleo system is utilizing, right, under the world of CrossFit. So it is worth mentioning, though, that we have a very diverse dietary world, right? And that the primary reason early humans ate a Paleolithic diet was because that's the only food they had available, right? Like that is the reason that they ate that way. Now we have all these other foods available, and that makes it extremely challenging to eat a Paleolithic diet, right? Especially considering the fact that the only reason they ate that way was because that's all the food that they had. So we have new foods available now, and as a result of that, when used appropriately as fuel, both human and athletic performance have improved, right? So there are a variety of different reasons that the paleo diet might not be good, or I would not recommend a paleo diet for CrossFit athletes or just someone who participates in CrossFit. Look, I'm not a CrossFit athlete. The majority of the clients that we work with are CrossFitters, but not athletes. They're looking to, get stronger and do better in the gym, but they're not trying to go to the CrossFit Games, right? I'm the same way. And so are the majority of the clients that we work with, right? But there are, a lot of other, athletes out there that this also doesn't make sense for, right? So as someone doing a Paleolithic diet, they eat oatmeal for breakfast. Rice is also a staple. And from there, how does someone get in the appropriate amount of carbohydrates with just eating oatmeal and rice pretty much all day, and fruit, which is fairly low calorie and is nutrient dense, but not very calorically dense, right? To fuel for your CrossFit workout the following day in your recovery, to make sure that you're not injured and that you can go to the gym feeling your best and optimal. You need other sources of carbohydrates. In the absence of very intentional food choices, it makes it difficult to achieve the macronutrient distribution that supports high intensity training, period. And that's exactly what CrossFit is. So I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. I couldn't get into everything today, but I think it's a super important topic, and it's a very popularized diet in CrossFit. Those are the athletes and clients that we work with. If you have any questions for us, please let us know. The full episode for this podcast will be coming out Thursday. This is our micro episode. 10% off for anyone that listens to this podcast and needs nutritional coaching. We'll see if it's a good fit for you, and we will chat with you soon. We appreciate you listening. Peace out.